Hello students, today we are going to discuss about the topic WiMAX in wireless and mobile communication system. So first thing is, what is a WiMAX system or what is a WiMAX technology? So this WiMAX technology is the one step ahead of the Wi-Fi technology. So in the WiMAX technology, which is a wireless broadband access technique, so which has the completely IP based, that is internet protocol, and its performance is equivalent to the Wi-Fi network, that is 802.11. So it is in terms of the coverage and the quality of service of the cellular networks. So if we talk about the full form of this WiMAX, so this is the worldwide interoperability for the microwave access. So this WiMAX technology is, as I said, this is the one step ahead of the Wi-Fi, which is of very small coverage area, and WiMAX is for the very large or macro cell coverage area. So this is the standard of the IEEE 802.16. So which is designed for the wireless MAN network. Okay, so this is the metropolitan area network. So it covers this MAN network area by the WiMAX technology. So if we talk about the range of this WiMAX technology, which is of basically two types, that is a fixed WiMAX or the mobile WiMAX. So in that WiMAX technology, so in this case, that is which provides the BWA, that is broadband wireless access, which is up to the 50 kilometers for the fixed stations, or we call it as the fixed WiMAX. We call it as the fixed WiMAX. Okay. Then for the if we talk about the for mobile stations, so that is for up to the 5 to 15 kilometers. So we call it as the mobile WiMAX. Okay. So this WiMAX is a broadband wireless technology that provides the broadband access services. This is for the enterprise and the residential customers. Okay. So this WiMAX technology is completely cover the whole large area for the mobile systems, mobile or the fixed systems. Just like we talk about the Wi-Fi in our room area or the home area. So if we talk about the elements or the parts of the WiMAX, so this WiMAX system, which includes the two main important parts, that is the first one is the WiMAX tower and the WiMAX receiver. So in WiMAX tower is the same as we have the base stations, and WiMAX receiver is just like a mobile phones. So WiMAX tower, which is similar to the cell phone tower or the base station, as we said before, it provides the signal coverage to a very large area, like 3,000 square miles. For the WiMAX receiver, the antenna and the receiver could be of tiny box, and that can be built into the laptop, like the Wi-Fi access at the present. Just like we have the Wi-Fi cards, similarly in the case of WiMAX, we had the some box of at the receiver side, which contains the Wi-Fi DSP signals. You can say it completely contains the digital signal processing. So this WiMAX, which provides the wireless broadband access to the building, wire networks, rural and the otherwise populated regions. It connects the WiMAX WiLAN hotspots towards the internet, and also it provides the connectivity of the broadband of the mobile devices. The expected speed is about 15 Mbps in the 3 km cell coverage area. So these are the features of the WiMAX technology. So okay, so which can be provide the just like by using the our internet into our mobile phone, we give the hotspot. Similarly, in the WiMAX also we can provide the WLAN hotspot, right? So in now from the current internet access arrangements, WiMAX, which you in the case of the WiMAX, users could actually cut free and it could be potentially arranged in the different spectrum bands. So what are the different spectrum bands which can be used for the WiMAX? That is a 2.3 gigahertz, 2.5 gigahertz, 3.5 gigahertz, and the 5.8 gigahertz of the frequency range can be used for the in the case of the WiMAX technology. So as we said about this WiMAX technology, which is of IEEE 802.16, which is a solution to the broadband wireless access, and it is commonly known as as we said about the WiMAX technology, that is the worldwide interoperability for the microwave access. So what are the different standards which can be specified by this WiMAX? That is, air interface is there. This air interface is between the receiver and the WiMAX tower. So this air interface comprises the MAC layer and the physical layer for the wideband access. So if we talk about the key development in the case of physical layer, so in the case of physical layer, in this in the fixed WiMAX or the mobile WiMAX, it uses the OFDM technology. So OFDM means orthogonal frequency division multiplexing. So this OFDM multiplexing technique is used, and the code division multiple axis spread spectrum, it can provide the different quality of service. Okay, so OFDM technology was used and the code division multiple access technology was used. So in the case of OFDM system, so the phenomena of the OFDM system is the data is divided into the multiple parallel substreams at a reduced data rate, and each stream or the each bit in the each line or each channel will be modulated with different transmission modulation techniques, and this transmitted signal will be modulated by the different subcarriers. So these subcarriers will be orthogonal to each other. And what is the benefit of this one? This increases the symbol duration and improves the system robustness. Okay, so ISI or the symbol interference can be minimized, right? So for this case, the ISI can be minimized when we use the orthogonal frequency division multiple access technique in the WiMAX technology. So what another benefit of that? By that one, the data rate will be improved. So this OFDM is achieved by providing the multiplexing on the user's data streams on both uplink and the downlink transmission techniques. So this uplink is what? This uplink is from the mobile phone to the base station, and downlink is for the base station to the mobile phone. So in the both the ways, this OFDM, all the orthogonal frequency division multiplexing technique can be applied for that case. So if we talk about the different standards of 802.16 WiMAX technology, so different standards are there. That is 802.16 in 2001. This was the first which was introduced WiMAX technology. Then after that 802.16A to C. So this was after the 802.16 in 2001 version afterwards. So another versions were, or the alternate versions were there of 802.16, that is the A and C. Then in 2004, the current IEEE standard was introduced, and it was approved in 2004 as well, which makes the previous versions in improvement basis, and in that case this A and C versions were outdated. Okay, in the 2005, the another version of 802.16 was there, that is 802.16E. So in this case, okay, so differences we can see here, that in 802.16 in 2004, this standard was simply for the fixed system, or we can say this is the fixed WiMAX system. So some adjustment was made into that, so that the mobility components were introduced, and in that case in 2005 the new standard was come into the picture, that is the 802.16 in 2005. So this was fairly used for the mobile receivers in the WiMAX technology. Okay, so from 2001 to 2005, it was the generation of the WiMAX technology. So if we compare the evolution of this from 2001 to 2005, so some of the parameters are there. So what are those? The spectrum or the broad bandwidth for, if we take this parameter, so in 2001, it contains the 10 to 66 gigahertz of bandwidth. In 2004, 2 to 11 gigahertz of bandwidth, and 2005, that is 2 to 6 gigahertz of the bandwidth. So what are the propagation channel condition which was there, for which this standard was designed? That is a line of sight, LOS, non-line of sight, pedestrian, and the non-line of sight for the vehicular system, like the mobile WiMAX system. If we talk about the bitrate case, then in 2001, the standard, that is 802.16, it was suitable for up to the 134 Mbps megabits per second, and 28 megahertz of the channelization was there. And in 2004, it was 75 Mbps and 20 megahertz of channelization was there. And in the case of in 2005, in that E versions was there, then it was up to the 15 Mbps or the 5 megahertz channelization was there. So if we talk about the modulation techniques which was used in the for these different standards, in this case in 2001, the QPSK and 16 QM or 64 QM, that was there for the modulation technique in 2001, which is the first version of WiMAX. In the case of in 2004, 256 subcarriers of OFDMA, BPSK, QPSK, and 16 QAM modulation technique was there. So if we see in the previous case, this is 16 QM or 64 QM, these were the optional, and these modulation techniques was designed for the uplink or for the downlink. So these are not for the same for both the uplink and downlink, because they are the different channel conditions are there through which we decided different modulation techniques. So if we talk about this case of 2005, so Akgec 2.16e, so in this what is a standardization which is that is adopted by this version, that is a scalable OFDMA system. But the previous modulation techniques like QPSK, 16 QM, 64 QM, 256 QM, which was optional in nature, so it was completely defined by the channel conditions. What type of modulation technique can be used for that? Okay, so if we talk about the mobility of this WiMAX standard, so as I said, there are two types. Like first is the fixed mobility, means the receiver and the receiver WiMAX and the transmitter WiMAX both are fixed in nature. If we have the pedestrian, it means the mobility is very low. If we are talking about the vehicular communication system, so in that case the mobility will be very high as compared to the pedestrian. So these are the different scenarios through which these standards can be specified WiMAX system. So in that architecture, if you talk about the architecture, there are three main components or elements are there. First one is the remote stations, all the mobile stations are there. Second component is the ASN, access service network is there. Next is the CSN, connectivity server network are there. So if we see here, we have this base station. So this base station is nothing but we call it as the WiMAX transmitter station, and along that we have the SS, that is your subscriber station, which I said the mobile phone as well. So this in this case we have the multiple mobile phones or the multiple WiMAX transmit receivers. Okay, so it comprises the management node, and along with that it comprises the physical MAC layer. So in every SS system, SS1, SS2, and so up to SSN, multiple mobile phones can be connected with the multiple base stations. As we are very much aware about the our cellular system, in which what we said, we have the mobile phones, like this is a mobile phone 1, this is a mobile phone 2, and these mobile phones are connected with the different with the base stations, right? So in the same scenario, if we if we do the analogy of this one, so we see here this is our base station, and these are the your mobile phones or the subscriber stations. So in every technology, name was different. Just like the S is here. Here we had the mobile station. Okay. In this case, in cellular system, we have the base station, but here we have the WiMAX tower. Okay. So this WiMAX tower will be connected with the mobile phones or the subscriber stations, and this WiMAX tower will be connected with the external world through the internet. Okay. So this comprises the network management system, contains your laptop, monitors and modems. So all the devices can be connected with the WiMAX tower through the internet. Okay. So these are the main components of the WiMAX system. So if we talk about a detailed explanation of these components, so first one is the remote station or the mobile station. As I said, these stations are the user apparatus like the mobile, and may be placed within the location of the consumers, right? Second is the ASN. So these are also the services or the networks for the WiMAX system. So in the access service network, in the region or the WiMAX network, which forms the radio access, right? This is very important. So this radio access network is the main important part of any of the technology when we talk about the from 1G to 5G. So in between we had this WiMAX technology. Okay. So CSN, connectivity service network. So this connectivity service network is one of the main element for the WiMAX, which will be used for connection with the external world. So how we can connect it with the external world? With the help of the internet protocol, that is the IP protocol connectivity. Okay. So all these functions of the internet protocol is a main core element of the WiMAX technology. Okay. But here if you talk about the access service, so this access service is to how we can connect the mobile phone with the our WiMAX towers. Then we had the subscriber station or the mobile station. So subscriber station or the SS, which is frequently known as a CPE, customer premises equipment, which otherwise it is called the outdoor CPE. Means if it is inside in one area or the home area network, then we call it as a CPE indoor. If we have the outside of that home area network, then we have the CPE. That is why this network is designed for the MAN, Metropolitan Area Network. So there are the different different elements of this WiMAX system, which is completely recognized as for their own functions. Just like if you talk about the base stations, so all the signal processing will be take care by this BS or the base station system. Okay. So if we talk about the what are the components or what are the responsibility for this BS or the base station, that is the micro mobility management system will be there, which functions like the establishment of the tunnel, handoff, triggering, policy enforcement of quality of service. Radio resource management will also be taken care by the base station system. Classification of traffic, dynamic host control protocol, DHCP, as we are very much aware about in our systems, we have the DHCP, which is responsible for connection with the external worlds. Okay, multi-class group management, session management, key management. So these all are the functionality of the base stations, we can say, for the WiMAX towers. ASN gateways, so which is again responsible for some of the functionality which is used for the transmission of the data. So what are the functionality of this ASN system? That is used as for the paging, intra ASN location management system, admission control, radio resource management system, encryption, key catching of subscriber profiles. So these are the main important functions of this uh, gateway to route the data from your main home network to the external world. So these are the responsibility of all these systems. Home agent in the WiMAX network, home agent can be placed in the connectivity service network. Okay, so again we have some of the functionality of this system which can be used for the uh, to take care about the internal structure of the WiMAX network. Okay, so in that case, what are the main solution for that which is provided by this network? That is the mobile IP solution. Okay, so all the issues which is related with the internal home network, that is we take care by the home agent. Just like in GSM system we have the home area network, right? So in that again we have the home location registers as well, so which is responsible for take care about the their own network area. Okay, so same work has done by the home agent in the case of WiMAX system. Then a triple A, that is authentication, authorization and accounting server component is there, which is responsible for this authentication purposes or the authorization purposes, just like the security point of view, encryption, decryption, and the accounting servers. All the billing informations can be taken by these particular components. Okay, so these are the basic differences between the WiMAX and the Wi-Fi. So as I said, WiMAX is the advanced form, or you can say the father of the Wi-Fi, right? Because Wi-Fi is for the small area network, and this WiMAX is the for the metropolitan area network. But the purpose is same, to connect the all the people with the main base tower. So in terms of the frequency channel, if we talk about in the WiMAX, then it comprised the 20 megahertz of the frequency channels was used in the case of the Wi-Fi. When we talk about the WiMAX system, so it is scalable channel which is operated up to from 1.5 megahertz to the 20 megahertz of the channels. So MAC is designed for scalable independent of the channel bandwidth, right? So what is the capacity when we talk about in terms of the capacity, then this MAC is designed to support the tens of users, and in the case of the WiMAX, it MAC designed to support the thousands of users. So this MAC is used decide the how many users can be accommodated by the system. So if we talk about third point of Wi-Fi, that is contention based MAC system, and no guarantee of the quality of service is there. But in the case of the WiMAX system, it grants the request for the MAC, and it centrally enforces the quality of service. Currently no guarantee latency or for the voice and the video, but this WiMAX technology is used to design to support the voice and video from the ground up. Means they will be the it was designed, or the goal of the WiMAX was to connect to the user with the very low latency in terms of the for the voice and for the video. So Wi-Fi that doesn't allow for differentiated levels of services on a per user basis, and it supports the service for user for up to the residential point of view and for the business customers. So like in the area that is comprises the complete industry. Okay, and it is optimized for up to 50 plus meter, and it is optimized for up to 50 kilometers. No near fault compensation. It is designed to handle many users spread over kilometers. WiMAX, it is optimized for indoor performance, and it is optimized for the outdoor non-line of sight performances. Okay, and in the case of Wi-Fi, no mesh topology, supports within the ratified standards, and in the case of WiMAX, it supports the mesh technology, mesh network, and it advanced antenna like the MIMO system will be used in the case of the WiMAX technology. Okay, so this MIMO will also be used here, but important point is the what is the range. Means if suppose we are using 2x2 MIMO is here, then we can apply for the 4x4 or 2x4, means advanced versions of the MIMO system in the case of the WiMAX technology. So another basic information about the wireless networks, like wireless main network, that is 802.16, wireless PAN network, personal area network, that is for that standards is defined IEEE 802.15, that is for the Bluetooth, which we will discuss in the upcoming lectures. Then wireless LAN networks, that is 802.11, that is for the Wi-Fi. So these standards are defined by the IEEE standard. So for the Wi-Fi we have the 802.11. For the Bluetooth we have the 802.15 or IEEE standard, and for the WiMAX we have 802.16 of standard, that is defined by the IEEE. So again, if we talk about the WiMAX, so for this WiMAX we have the different forums, right? Different forums for the WiMAX technology, right? So last is the multi-hop ad hoc network. So this multi-hop ad hoc network is nothing but it comprises the different multi-users which are spread out and they are self-configurable, right? So the main function of this ad hoc is the this is used for ad hoc, means self infrastructure base, and there is no fixed infrastructure is there. So the application for the multi-hop, that is the military applications and the emergencies. So these all the applications. If we graphical representing this one, the coverage area for that, if we see here, the smallest area is for the PAN area, personal area network. This is for the Bluetooth, that is for 802.15. So if we talk about the LAN area network, so this area network is standardized by the 802.11, that is the Wi-Fi. So if we talk about the MAN, that is the metropolitan area network, which is standardized by this 802.16 hyperMAN or the metropolitan area network, and that is the WiMAX. Okay, so these all are the network environments through which the wireless standards were designed. So this is the protocol stack of this WiMAX standard, in which this is divided into two parts. First one is the physical layer and second one is the MAC layer. So in the physical layer comprise all the modulation schemes, all the transmission, all kind of connection from air interfaces we take care by the physical layer. So this physical layer is connected with the MAC layer. So in that MAC layer we have the different services what's provided by that. That is a privacy sub layer is there, and then we have the MAC common part sub layer, that is a MAC CPS, and then we have the service specific convergence sub layer, that is the CS. Okay, so this network, that is a complete section of physical MAC layer. In the case of for the WiMAX protocol, that is called a data control panel. Second one is the management control panel, that is this comprises the management entity physical layer. So this management entity physical layer is connected with the data control panel, that is the physical layer of that one. So this in the case of MAC layer, so this privacy subcarrier is connected with the this again it is divided into two sub layers in the case of management plane, that is security sub layer and the management entity MAC common part sub layers. And above that layer we have the management entity, that is a service specific convergence sub layer again. So this is connected with the this data control plane with the service specific again convergence sub layer. So these layers are responsible for the connection with the internal connections. So these all are used for the internal connections of the one network. If you want to connect with the external network, then we have the gateways. So through that gateway we are connected with the another more advanced or the next system which is out of that network. Okay, So this will work as the for the home agent, and rest part will be connected for the visitor agents. Okay, so in that way these things will work. So if we talk about the functions of the physical layer, so which allows directional antenna, just as I said, different deployment of the antennas as also the part of the physical layer, which uses the directional antenna, and it also be responsible for using the two duplexing techniques, that is the frequency division duplexing and the time division duplexing. So both the methods were applied in the case of the WiMAX technology. So it supports both full and half duplex stations also, right? Adaptive data bus profiles, that is the transmission parameters modulation techniques was introduced used into that. Higher modulation techniques are used, which can be modified on a frame by frame basis of each subscriber station, and profiles are identified by the interval uses code. So these are the different ways of defining in every technology. In fact, we have the different profile parameters to define the role of the parameters, right? Just like transmission parameter, as we said, that modulation technique. So in all the different technologies we use a different modulation techniques. So these all are defined by the different profiles. Media access control, so this is connection oriented. Obviously this connection is ID based and service flow is there. And if we talk about the channel access, so it is defined or decided by the base station. We don't decide by the mobile station. We channelization, synchronization, we initialize always from the base station point of view. So uplink mapping is there. So in that uplink mapping, it defines the channel access and it defines the uplink data bus profile. If we talk about the downlink mapping, so which defines the downlink data burst profiles. So these profiles are defined by these protocols which we have just discussed about the WiMAX. So uplink map and the downlink map are both transmitted in the beginning of each downlink subframes. So this, because mapping is very important. If we cannot map, then we cannot specify the data transmission into this. Scheduling services are there, that is unsolicited grant services, real-time polling services, non-real-time polling services, and the we had the best effort to connect the request to the users, so that the transmission can be occur very efficiently. Okay, so I hope you got the intuition about the WiMAX. What is that? What is the technology for the WiMAX? In brief, I just want to say this WiMAX is the larger version of the Wi-Fi that is work on the 802.16 technology. Thank you very much.